the Arabs to begin the war.
Wow.
The reason is very simple. 1948 is just after the end of World War II. What is the most important resource in the world is oil.
And water.
But at that time, for the big countries, yes, water for existence, but I'm saying what they were chasing after was to control the oil.
Okay.
And where was most of the oil was in the Middle East. And they were terrified that the surviving Jews who were with the Arabs would then control the resource that all those white people were depending on.
Okay.
So it was just very simple divide to conquer. So now it's just grudges and generations of grudge, and nobody really thinks about the origin of it. The same way in our own classist society, we don't think about the origins of when certain families became Modi with that family and this and that. We just grudge them.
And tying into the Christian effects of it. Remember, we're a Christian country. That's why I was talking about the Calinagos, the Dominicans, how do we all coexist, but yet still we have this one religious factor as the main determinator of what our moral ethics.
But religion is the enemy of tribal unity. It's like religion is kind of like an artificial tribe that the empire creates to basically.
Just for clarification,
Sure.
you're saying religion is not God. Like, remember, we're not trying to.
No, religion and God are enemies.
Religion and God are enemies.
Absolutely.
This is crazy.
God is real. God is active. God is the irata. God is ever present, ever loving. Every religion is built by an empire that was claiming other people's lands and peoples and needed to teach a propaganda to the tribes that it was conquering. Otherwise, the tribes would fight back.
So what did the tribes have, though, if not religion?
Oh, no. A tribe doesn't have religion.
What did they have?
It has its belief system. It has tradition. It has ritual. But see, what makes a religion very different, and it's why white man was able to conquer Africa, because all ancient peoples are connected to their ancestor through their own chest, not through an exterior Bible. So the direct connection with God was a continuum. And
Lifestyle.
what Europeans did when they came and they conquered was they said, your God is not a God. Our God killed your God. We're the boss. And if you were to look at the list of Christian saints, you're looking at the list of the gods that were prayed to by the tribes conquered by Rome.
Okay.
And I can give you a factual example, just a simple example.
Sure.
Most Catholics and Christians have heard the name St. Thomas, St. Thomas d'Aquinas, also known as Doubting Thomas, right?
Doubting Thomas.
Yeah, with the expression a doubting Thomas comes from the legends of the Saint Thomas. But the thing is that there never was a flesh and blood St. Thomas.
Okay.
There was, however, many tribes in Africa that praised the Egyptian god Tammuz,
Tammuz.
which then the Europeans turned into Thomas. In fact, he was so well known that even the Jews, when they made their calendar, we took that name Tammuz to make one of the months of the Jewish calendar.
Which is
Tammuz. The name of the month is Tammuz, which was basically just stealing from the Egyptians to name things. So each religion, whether you're talking about India going from Veda to Hindu and creating Hinduism, or the Romans creating Christianity, or the Middle East,
yes.
Persia creating Islam.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
We may be going off subject.
But what I'm saying is just interest of time, because at 1:10 we have the weather, 1:15
Sure.
some ads.
Sure. So my point is that our unification
Uh-huh.
doesn't come through religion. It comes through community.
Okay.
Just like change in the world doesn't come from big ideas, it comes from real examples. You can tell me about supermen and super people all you want, but it's the elder in my community that I've seen my whole life unbending and morally straight that makes me believe in truth.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the impact.
Okay, so that's what I want to leave here. Of course, we should have a part 2. So we won't have the Streams of Consciousness program tonight for those listening and viewing, because it's something that I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in having, but you'll be my next guest if you're open to that.
Sure.
All right. We can continue this conversation, but what I want people to really leave here in terms of our conversation is the open-mindedness to the different people we're going to meet. You might meet someone like yourself who is a conscious Jew, elder, Rasta, but like you said, as a humble student of life in the learning process. You might also meet a Chinese, you might meet a Trinidadian, but they too have the different cultures and perceptions of life.
Sure.
So what is some of the takeaways you want people to leave with as we enter into this carnival type of thing, but to maintain our consciousness and balance as well?
I think that, the father of Sufism, Rasmuddin, he said, life is so simple that no man will ever get it. When we want to improve things, we have to do the simple right and stop getting so complicated. Every one of our worries and anxieties and fears and ambitions and desires gets real complicated, real fast.
Yeah.
And the way that, whether it's during Carnival or any day of the year, I don't really believe in holiday. I think every day is holy. But it's actually having a moral code which tells yourself, I will treat people as people,
Right.
not as objects to be used or abused.
Right.
I think all the answers are pretty simple, and I think all the problems are the complications. So the solution is getting more simple and straight. Sincerity brings clarity. Clarity allows us to see and live with God.
I think it can't get any more simple than that. I think you've just made it pretty much clear as to where we stand here and what are some of the energies you're bringing forward. Brother, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been a blessing. Thank you.
Likewise, sorry to have much time, but looking forward to having another conversation with you, and we can extend more with more time, yeah? So more times.
Protection and love.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. I hope that worked for you.
Perfect, you know?
Okay.
Ready for a night of glitz and glamour. The Miss Dominica National Queen Pageant takes center stage on February 8th, 2024 at Carnival City. At 8 p.m., witness the dazzle of our 6 remarkable contestants in the National Spectacular Wear creation, talent, swimwear, evening wear, and the question and answer round. Brought to you by our sponsors, the Government of Dominica, Discover Dominica Authority, Flow Dominica, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Belfast Estate, alias Francaise, Jolly's Pharmacy,